guys, welcome to a new vlog. My dog is already here at the tripod trying to knock it over. Oh, last few months for me have been chaotic. I have really been trying to get myself back to center and Lord. So if you're not a part of my Patreon, then you probably won't know this or haven't heard this yet. I've been really sick. I had a temperature of 104. I had PCOS issues. So for about 3 whole weeks, I was just out. Like my whole body just shut down and I was able to read, but it was like on the couch, laying down or in bed. And so I did get some reading done, but also with a temperature of 104 comes this bad boy. It's about gone now, but I did have a cold sore, which I found out that you guys all call them cold sores. Here in Oklahoma, we call them fever blisters. So never knew, never knew. So to start this vlog off, I will be reading Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. So excited. So this weekend we will be moving my mother-in-law in, which was the big change that we were anticipating happening. All the other stuff that came in the last 2 months, not anticipated changes, not anticipated things. So I am hoping that I will be able to continue my vlogging, that I will be able to keep posting content regularly and get back, like I said, to what is normal for me and keep everything going for you guys. I have been staying on top of all of my Patreon stuff, so if you guys would like to join the Patreon, I have been uploading videos for them. I have been on Discord talking to them and all that stuff, even though a lot of the other things have kind of fallen to the wayside. Anyway, Two Twisted Crowns is the second book to One Dark Window. I've been so excited about this. I got this book for Christmas. I can't believe I have waited until March to read it. That is insane. And I haven't really started it yet, but I loved One Dark Window. I know it's divisive, but I've heard from a lot of people who have read the second one that this one's better. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it. Ready to dive into something that takes a little brain power. Because if you guys have seen my recent wrap-ups, you will know I've been forced to kind of read things that don't take a whole lot of brain power. Was able to read Kagan the Damned. Really loved that. But other than that, it was a whole bunch of kind of thoughtless reads, stuff that didn't take any brain power to read. I wasn't having to think too hard about what was being said and everything like that. So today, all I have to do is cook dinner, do a little bit of cleaning, all that stuff. And today's Tuesday, so I might not post this Friday. I might post this the following Friday. We'll see how it goes and how much I can read between now and then. And yeah. Keep you guys a little bit more updated on what's been going on around here. And I'll probably vlog some of my mother-in-law getting all of her stuff over here and everything like that towards the end of the week. But I'm excited. I'm excited to get back to vlogging, to get back to reading the things that I really want to read. I don't know yet if I'm going to post a TBR because I have a lot of things on hold. I do have Yumi coming up. That is one that is definitely going to be read. Bride is my book club book. I do have arcs for The Longest Autumn and The Tainted Cup, so those are definitely on my TBR, but the rest of it, I'm just going to play it by ear, and we'll see how it goes. You know, I never realized how poofy my hair has gotten until I come back here to record, and I'm just like, ooh, calm down, calm down. All right, that out of the way, I'm about halfway through Two Twisted Crowns, and I have to tell you guys, I am loving this, loving this. So this picks up pretty much essentially where the last one left off, and we have, oh, there are things I can't tell you because they would be very spoilery for the first one, but our two main characters are struggling with the fact that what had happened in the first book happened, and we have one of our main characters really doing what they can to help the other one out of the situation they found themselves in. And we have the king who is pushing for the completion of his set of cards. If you guys have read the first one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, there are cards that are essentially like tarot that the king before them sought out and had made, and they give people powers. And so the king has been trying to acquire a full set for himself so that he can be the supreme power in this realm. Anyway, it has been so good. The action in here is nonstop almost. Like, there aren't a whole lot of slow spots in this. And I do really, really enjoy this story still. I do miss some of that gothic eeriness that was present in the first one, but I'm very much looking forward to how this story ends because it has been so good and so fast paced and a big shift from the original. So another thing that I've been missing is we got a lot of lore from this nightmare that was inside our main character's head, and that has all been revealed to us. So the little tidbits that were present in the first book, they are no longer in this book because we've caught up to the lore. And I kind of liked those little bits and pieces being tossed into there and kind of delving through it piece by piece. But yeah, I mean, I think I am headed towards a 5-star with this one. I'm really, really loving it. And I'm really excited to get to the rest of the books. So this month I also let my son pick out a book and my best friend pick out a book for me to read. So those have been added to the TBR. My TBR keeps growing, but at the pace that I'm reading, I'm not really worried about it. And I will do a TBR video maybe. I keep going back and forth on all of that. But you guys will have seen that before this anyway. All right. I will let you know when I finish this. All right, guys, totally ignore the fact that my hair is a little greasy because I haven't yet taken a shower because I couldn't put this down. Oh my gosh, this book is so good. It's so good. I knew I was going to love this book. I loved One Dark Window. And with what happened at the end of One Dark Window going into this, I was so excited. Like I said, I got this for Christmas and I can't believe it's taken me this long to read it. But I have a new favorite character, the Nightmare. I absolutely adore the way that story plays out. I can't say much without spoiling the first book. But gothic fantasy. I don't think there is a better like blend of genres for me in existence. I do love sci fantasy, but gothic horror is one of those things that I will always go back to. I have always loved and speaks to me on a very different level than anything else. But then you blend that with fantasy and add tarot and creepy forests and just everything that I really love about gothic novels into a fantasy novel. It's so dang good. Now, I can't say much about this again without spoiling the first book, but I will say that I really liked that there is romance in this, but it never overtakes the story. And due to the events of the first book, the romance in this is so light, like you can't even call it a romance anymore. I did mark it as a romance on Goodreads simply because, yes, there is a romance, but nothing can happen with the romance due to what happens in the first book. Anyway, I don't want to spoil anything. Like I said, this is about two people trying to save their realm and doing everything that they can in their power to make sure that the new king that comes into play will be a good one. But yes, this is so good. It's so good. And I'm about to tackle another book that I've been very excited for, mainly because everyone has been talking about how good the romance is. And I keep telling myself I'll be the judge of that. But Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, funny enough, these are both books I got for Christmas. So I'm very, very excited to get into this. I love this cover. I think I like this cover better than I think it's Dragon Steel. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. So yeah, I will be reading a Brandon Sanderson. We will see how it goes. And that's all I have to say right now. Other than, man, am I excited for what I'm reading. Now, I did let my son pick a book for me to read, and he picked A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. So hopefully, as long as like my holds for Libby don't keep coming through like they tend to do, once one comes, they all come, I'll read A Time of Dread and then probably read Bride. But I'm very, very excited to be starting this book. Okay guys, hi, I'm back. I'm trying to talk fairly loud because I had to plug in my phone to charge it so that I could do this update for you guys instead of plugging in my mic. So I'm sitting close, I'm trying to talk loudly. Yumi is upside down. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, so Sanderson, you're not funny. You're not. I appreciate Mistborn and everything, but I don't find this amusing. So we have these two characters, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, who live very different lives. I've not really figured out exactly how these two connect yet, but they are together now, and so I do think part of my problem is the breaking of the fourth wall is something that can be really great in books, and I really enjoy it. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter is a huge example of that. And, you know, I like some of the things where they say, dear reader, Van Helsing type stuff. But, you know, I don't really like it here. I'm not enjoying that aspect of this whenever it breaks the fourth wall. It's kind of taking me out of the story. And I get that I'm not far enough into it to give it an actual rating or anything like that, or to make any judgments just now, but I am not a huge fan of Sanderson's writing. You guys know this. I have read some parts of the beginning of this relationship, and I have to say, I feel like Sanderson is taking a stab at romance, like making jabs at the romance genre, and I don't appreciate it, not at all, because I'm a romance reader. That's irritating me. The pacing of the book is weird. It's not fast-paced, it's not slow-paced, but it's weird. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm liking this. I'm gonna try to reserve most of my judgment for now, because I'm only on part 2 of this book. Like I said, the characters themselves have just met, and I'm gonna push through. However, you might not hear from me for a few days because I want to read Bride. And I don't want this to be the book that I force myself to read when I could be reading Bride. And that is the book that I will be vlogging spoilers, all the spoilers, for my patrons. So we're breaking up, Sanderson. I love Mistborn, huge fan of Mistborn Era 1, but I haven't really loved anything else. I really liked Elantris, and I've read everything, or dabbled in everything that he's written, except for like the original. So yeah. Oh, I've thought about Tress, but I'm not a cozy reader, so that's probably not something that I'm actually going to tackle. And then the other 2 are Cosmere books, so I don't care. And oh, Sanderson and King. I shouldn't read these authors, guys. I shouldn't do it, but then I do, and this is what I'm left with. The book's beautiful, though. Isn't she pretty? So pretty. Okay, I will check in with you guys later. Okay, guys, check it out. Check it out. This is my hoodie that I got from my mom for my birthday. Hold on. It says, nope, not today, but it's a blanket. And hang on, let's see if I can do this. It has ears. It has ears. Okay, so Yumi, I left it in the other room. I'm settling into this writing style now. It's not so bad. Do I love it? No, I don't love it. Here's my thing, and I'm gonna just be perfectly honest with you guys. I've read a lot of YA romance before. This is a typical YA romance. I don't see what the hype was for. And if you read typical YA romance and hate on it, but like this book, there's something wrong. Like, just because it's Sanderson doesn't make it great. So I can recommend a lot of YA romances that are quite a bit better. That's pretty much where I am right now. I'm a little vindictive because of it, but that's okay, right? No, it's okay. I'm not loving it. I'm not hating it anymore, though. The writing style is kind of typical of Sanderson, so it's not my favorite. And the romance is fine, but like I said, it's just a typical YA romance. There's nothing great about it. And I've heard a lot of people say that the world building is great. I don't like Sanderson's world building. I don't think he shows enough. I think he tells, and we don't get to see it. So I don't see what's so great about that. But I'm the weirdo. I'm the one who doesn't like Sanderson. I'm the odd man out. I get that. I'm totally okay with that. And yeah, okay. That's my check-in. I am going to begrudgingly give it to Sanderson for that dang ending. Okay? Okay. Begrudgingly. Reason being, I do believe that a lot of people have Sanderson blinders on reading this because this is a YA romance that is in the thread of just about every YA romance I've read. Now, Sanderson adding the Sanderlanche to the end of this book does elevate it slightly, but come on, guys. Read some YA romance if you're going to read this, because if you liked this, there's quite a few romances out there that you would probably really like. I mean, I just finished Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, and it was just as good. And the follow-up books were better. So I'm kind of like, which, you know, I don't know. So I'm giving this 3.5 stars. Didn't hate it. I had a really, really hard time getting into this book, though, because of Sanderson's writing, because the humor was not hitting right with me. I did not find him funny. But about the halfway point, it kind of turns around and he stops trying to be funny and just lets the characters be who they want to be. And then they were amusing. So I don't know. And the narration style of this was odd for me. It took me a long time to get with the narration style of this. But I do think the romance between Yumi and the Nightmare Painter is pretty dang cute towards the end. And I do like the way that this wraps up. I don't really care for all of the Cosmere stuff that's in here, even though I know that there are supposed to be Cosmere tie-ins because this is a Cosmere book. I have read and loved Mistborn and don't really care for Stormlight. So the Cosmere stuff kind of lowered it a little bit too. If this could have stood on its own without all of that, I think it would have been better. But a cute YA romance that, if you like YA romance, I think you should read. However, this doesn't change my mind about Sanderson or his writing style or anything like that. That does mean, though, that I get to move on to the book club pick, Bride by Ali Hazelwood. All right, hey guys, I have you turned this way because I'm trying not to spoil my book haul that's about to come. So I finished Bride, and the full spoilery vlog is on my Patreon if you guys are interested in that. But I had to take a few days off because of my PCOS. Had a few pretty bad days, but I did start a Fate Inked in Blood, and hello, this book is stunning. Thank you, Fairy Loot. Look at that, look at that. And the foiled hardcover there. I'm really enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this as much as The Bridge Kingdom, though. It is kind of an enemies to lovers, kind of, but not really, like rivals to lovers almost, but in the sense that our main character has fallen in love for her husband's son. This sounds weird, but if you read, like it's a whole read and find out situation. She meets this guy. He's coming out of a river and she's like, oh boy, he's hot. And she has like a little back and forth with him. He flirts with her. She's like, I am married, thank you very much. And he's like, well, too bad. I could always go kill your husband if that's what you want. And she's like, no. And he leaves. They encounter each other on the road again when it is found out that our main character has magic, and they are hunting her down in specific to fulfill a prophecy. And in order to fulfill this prophecy, she has to have ties to the king, so he marries her. And she finds out that the guy she encountered at the river is his son. So I'm not spoiling things. That's what happens at the very beginning of the book. But it's really kind of interesting. There's a lot of pining simply for the fact that this is like a dude, you married my dad situation. But there is no love between the king and our main character. That was just something that the king did and she couldn't stop it. And so that's where we are. But I really do love Daniel L. Jensen's writing, so I am enjoying this. I think it's going to be a 4-star, not a 5-star, but I am pumped to have like this stunning, stunning edition of this book. I do wish that I had editions like this of the Bridge Kingdom. That would be great. But yeah, I'm kind of resting here where I did with my last read, being like, I'm not like super disappointed, but slightly disappointed that it's not what I expected from this author. I do like the narrator because she has a very Norse accent too, and so that's really fun. But yeah, so we'll see how the rest of this goes. I'm not sure. But this does mean that my vlog won't go up until tomorrow, which is Wednesday. It was supposed to go up Monday, but I had a couple bad days. Finish this out. I'll check in with you guys later and we'll end the vlog there. But I've had a good reading month so far, I think. Not too disappointed with how everything's going. And then I have something cool that's going to be coming at the end of the month. I'll go ahead and let you guys know so you can be ready for it. I let my family choose my TBR, and they had no real parameters except for what was on my TBR card. I gave them no clues as to what I wanted to read. And so we'll see how that goes as well. I'm pretty excited. I know at least one of the books I'm going to really love. All right, I will check in with you guys later. All right, hello, lovelies. I have finished A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. I have to say, I really liked this book. And I say that way because I love, love, love The Bridge Kingdom so much. I don't think this is as good as The Bridge Kingdom, and I'm not exactly sure why. So The Bridge Kingdom probably has to do with the fact that the main character is an assassin, and I have an affinity for assassin main characters. So that could have been it. But this is Vikings, and we have a girl falls for her husband's son, which is very weird. So I have a feeling that that might have been a little off-putting to me. I'm not exactly sure, but it's still just as well written as The Bridge Kingdom. The love interest is just as awesome as the love interest in The Bridge Kingdom. So I don't really know why this has put me off so much. I also didn't really like the way this one ended. So there are a couple things that are putting this at a 4-star as opposed to a 5-star like The Bridge Kingdom. But yeah, I still really enjoyed it. So if you are looking for a romantasy author that you can just sink your teeth into, I highly recommend Danielle L. Jensen. I definitely think that she blends fantasy and romance really, really well. And I'm kind of excited to have this very loot version of Fate Etched in Blood, or Fate Inked in Blood. And I mean, yeah. So I have started a study in drowning. And again, I think we're looking at a 4-star. I really would like a 5-star read, guys. I really would like a 5-star read. I'm hoping with my project at the end of the month, I will come across a 5-star read, but we'll see. We'll see. I have rated everything 3.5, 4 stars. I've had a couple of 2.5 stars. So the last few months have not been great. They have been good, just not great. All right, that's it for my vlog this week. I will check in with you guys again next week to let you know what I'm reading. As always, I have my Patreon. We've got some fun things going on over there, exclusive content giveaways, fun bingo boards, and all that stuff. And you can like and subscribe if you would like more content from me here. Bye.